Hey, Old Boar here. So I'm still working on this map to make it ready to play on. This is a real location, Geneva, Switzerland. I'm going to try to clean up these rivers using my map overlay. I'm going to make the rivers only the blue areas. I'm going to get it as close as I can. So I'm just cutting up this river at negative 19.47, and I've turned the transparency on my overlay down to 50% so that I can see this blue line better. Negative 19.47, and I'm just taking this and cutting right up the edge, and we're going to see how those water sources play out through this. Now when you get to a bridge, you're going to cut through it. I would drop this down to about 20 to get into this little area here. Okay, I finished cutting the river, so now I'm going to raise the terrain heights where there's flooding. You want to get about a 60 size brush. You probably want to bring this down to about 70, and see that jagged line there on the edge of that river? Probably you want to lower this down to about 40. And this would bring this down a little bit closer. You might like the look of it. You're just going to drag this right over the edge. You're sloping these banks down a little bit to the height of the river. This is after you get your river cut. Smooth your map out. I'd say about 800. And we want to smooth this first. And you want to smooth out your entire map. You don't want to get very close to your border because you're not going to build up to the border. But you're going to put roads on this, and you want this to be buildable. But you're going to want to smooth all of this out. But you want to soften. Take a brush of about 1,000, and you want to soften up all of this before you start to level out things. You're not going to have a completely flat map. And don't get up near your rivers. You've done a lot of work to cut those rivers out. You're probably going to level out quite a bit of this. This is 40. This is 38. And this is 59. You're just going to gradually slope this up towards the mountains. Got mountains on this side You've got mountains over here. See, I've leveled this out. This is 40, 38. All this is 40.66 meters in here. And it's still way above this river that's cut out here. It's a canal and you've got some bridges across here. But you're going to want to play somewhat level for a few reasons. Number one is Cities Skylines assets. They really need to be laid fairly flat. For example, this little area here, just start to right click and look at your target height, and we're going to make this little area here, this is flooding actually, but it's okay because we're going to make this flat, this part of the map. And then we're going to make another part of the map flat, following these contour lines a bit until we get out to this one, and then this will be flat. And little by little, these are major contour lines here. If you zoom out this far, that's our buildable area, and we have 1, 2, 3 major areas. And so the major contour lines are going to become flat. This area in here, we're going to leave this feature, which is a hill, and this area in here, and this area. And over on this side of the map, if you look at these contour lines, get your frame of reference here, we're going to have this area flat, we're going to leave this feature, and we're going to have another area that's a little higher here, and then this area back in here is going to be flat. And then between these areas, between this area and this area, you can see these dark lines. This is what I'm talking about. You could leave this, but you're going to have the wonkiest roads in the world. We've smoothed this out with a smooth brush as much as it can be smoothed. This cannot be more smooth than it is. You probably want to stay with round numbers. Let's say 40. This is 40 meters, and we can come in and make this flat. Don't get up near the edge of your river. And if you want to go slow, drop your brush size down to about 100 and just get up near the edge of your river. You don't want any flooding, and you want to get up to that white line. See, video games are supposed to be fun, and the really, really good maps look realistic, and they also are very playable. You know, there are some beautiful maps that look so real, but they're not playable. Or it's so much of a terraforming headache or a move it headache that it's not enjoyable. And so what we're doing is we're making it enjoyable to play on this map. And unless you're Mr. Miyagi or Bringer of Fire or Sidai, you're just not going to be able to do both. You're going to have to settle for playable and semi-realistic. That's what we're learning here. But we're flattening out this particular section of our buildable area. And so once you get around the edge of the river, then you can use a bigger brush. Get down close And so once I'm away from the edge of the river, I can flatten a little bit more freely without being afraid to make mistakes. And let's just say you wanted to leave this hill. We're going to flatten all this out to 40. And then we might go up to 45. These canals, or this river, has a lot of roads that go right along the side of it. And if you like the hills and you like to build on a map like that, leave it and move on. This is 40. This one is 50. I'm flattening out the map. Also, because the assets in City Skylines do not conform to terrain heights very well. It's not just a matter of let's make this easy for ourselves. And now I'm going to just smooth this out. And you've got that contour line in between your buildings. If you leave spaces, you can raise up little hills and put in character into your map. See, you've got that little ridge there. And if you really wanted to get fancy, you could take this 40 and the 50 and just slope up so that it's not such an abrupt climb for your roads. You look at this side of the map and then you look at this side of the map. This is going to be a lot more fun to build on. And you're saying, hey, this looks so flat. Well, look at what you've got to do. Look at all of these streets and neighborhoods that you've got to do, especially when you get down into here. Onyx, Lancy, the university area, Carouge, Troinix, in Geneva. Look at that. You want flat. Look at that. That's what it looked like before. This is what it looks like now. I think you're getting the gist of it. That's smoothing out and flattening out your map for gameplay. And hitting like and subscribe. Tell your friends. They can make their own custom real location map. And thank you for watching The Old Boar Plays City Skylines 2. Take care now.